Hey, how's it going, everyone? In this video, I'm going to talk about plans and maps, which is one type of pictorial writing in task 1 of the IELTS. But before I continue, you need to watch the previous video because there are prerequisites of this type of writing that we have covered in the previous video. So if you haven't watched it, please click here, right now, watch that video first, and then come here. Alright people, so here you see that there's a picture, there are two pictures, and there's this prompt provided. It says the provided map below shows changes Stokeford went through in 2 different years. So Stokeford is this particular area in 1930 and 2010. You can already see that how many changes have been made and what kind of things have been eliminated and what things have been added or what things have been converted to something else. Like for example, the garden that used to be here is now a retirement home, and you see that there are a lot of more houses in 2010 than it used to be in 1930, and you can see the farmland has been just, is gone. So you can see, like, this is plans, this is maps. Like you write a comparison and talk about the changes that have happened in one particular area in 2 different periods of time. So just like any picture, we have the prompt and then we have the picture itself. So what to do here? Now, the first thing we need to write is the introduction, and the intro is the same across all types of pictures. So regardless of whatever the picture is, be it a plan, be it like a process or trend or an item, the object, it doesn't really make a difference. The intro is the same thing, which consists of paraphrasing of the prompt and the overview, which we have talked about. So yes, the video that I told you to watch first, we have covered how to write paraphrasing and the overview. So if you haven't watched that one, you really need to go back and watch that video first and then come back here. So we paraphrase the prompt and then we write the overview. And in maps/plans, which is this, the overview can be a brief description of a major change overall and or a specific part. So basically, but paraphrasing is just, it's very self-explanatory. It's just we change the verbiage and the word and the grammatical structure of this sentence not to sound the same thing. And then in the same paragraph, which is the introduction paragraph, we write the overview. Now, you can talk about the major changes that have happened without talking specifically about what part has changed in numbers or anything. So bear in mind that in an overview, we're talking about things generally. Like, it's an overview. It is not like a detailed description. So what it looks like, it would be like this. So this is the prompt, right? Now, this is the paraphrasing that I've provided here. The provided maps below show changes Stokeford went through in 2 different years. Alright, so this is the prompt that we've been provided by the exam. The presented plans illustrate the alterations and developments in Stokeford during a period of 80 years, starting from 1930 to 2010. So this is basically from here all the way to the period is just a paraphrasing of what has been written here. So the provided maps below the presented plans illustrate. The presented plans instead of the provided maps. Changes, alterations, and developments. A new word has been added here. So you see, we changed the verbiage, we changed the grammatical structure and everything not to sound the same. And after that, in the same paragraph, we write the overview. Overall, it is clear that Stokeford has gone through major urbanizations along the road. So what has happened here? As an example, I have chosen to kind of mention the process of urbanization along the road, just since you see that there are many more houses constructed along the road and here than what it used to be in 1930. So but does it mean it is the only thing that we can write about? No, you can write about anything else. You can write about, let's say, the farmlands no longer existent, because in 1930 there used to be a little farmland here. You could have also mentioned that. You could have said that overall it is observable that the farmlands that used to exist in Stokeford no longer exist in 2010. or anything basically. So it's you taking a look at the overall changes or just one change in one particular area of the map. So it just, specifically depends on you. After you're done with the whole paraphrasing and the overview, you have to ask yourself, how can I describe it in 2 body paragraphs? Because we have one introduction and 2 body paragraphs, and these 2 body paragraphs need to contain specific areas of the map. So you're not going to be talking like a out of place, like talk about bridge and then go to the river stroke it, just from place to place. You need to divide the map so that the reader has an easy time reading and, kind of referring the written text to the map itself. So what I mean by that is, if you want to talk about the right side of the map, just talk about the right side of the map. Like, don't talk about the bridge and then go to the shops and then go to the large house here. So we're not going out of order. We're just talking about one specific area. So imagine we have this road right in the middle of this place. We have to the right of the road, we have these things. We have the farmland, the primary school, gardens, and everything. We talk about the changes that have happened in just one body paragraph. And after we're done, we go to another body paragraph and talk about the left side or the west side of Stokeford and talk about the changes that have happened here. Why? Because this organizes your writing in a very, let's say, coherent way. It is coherent to read someone's writing if they have divided parts of their map into different parts of the paragraph. So it's just 2 body paragraphs, each containing one specific area, and it's easier to read, it's easier to follow. So ask yourself, how can I describe it in 2 paragraphs? Mostly like these pictures have like kind of a specific identity to themselves. Like they kind of contain like the north and south part or the east and west part. So you can easily see which part you can write in one body paragraph and the others in another. It doesn't really make a difference. So if you want to talk about the north and south, so be it. Just, it's up to you. But I guess in this particular map, I would guess that, just the division of the map by the road that is in the middle into east and west would be the best possible choice to go for. So there's another picture here with another prompt, and you can see the prompt says the pictures below show the difference between Paradise Island in the past and present. So Paradise Island in the past, whenever that is, and present. So you can see that there have been a lot of changes have happened, and a lot of constructions have been built. Some of them have been demolished. A few things have remained the same. Regardless of that, we have the introduction. Now, just a reiteration, the introduction includes paraphrasing of the prompt and the overview. Here, I've provided an introduction saying that the provided figures illustrate the comparison of the Paradise Island in the past and present. So this is the paraphrasing. In a glance, we can see that there have been some major developments across the island. So this whole thing is our introduction. Now, the provided figures instead of the pictures below, illustrate instead of show the comparison of the Paradise Island, the difference between, and so on. So it's just a kind of a change in the verbiage and the structure. The overview in a glance is one of those kind of set phrases or words that you can use in the very beginning of your overview. Again, we have covered all of those in the previous video. We can see that there have been some major developments across the island. So this is a very general sentence. I've not talked about a specific part of the map. I've just said that there have been some major developments. That's it. And that is kind of enough to count as an overview. Now, what to do when it comes to the paragraphing? So paragraph, the body paragraphs contain the details and, the specifics. Before we get into them, you need to understand in types of pictures that have to do with plans and figures, you have to talk about the changes that have happened. You need 2 things. One, spatial relationships. What is a spatial relationship? Spatial relationship is basically indicating where in the picture or the plan you're talking about, because you can't just say the scientific research station, even though it's a little bit obvious, but you can't just name places. You have to say where they are. Like, you can see the north, the west, the south, the east. Of course, you can also have more specific spatial relationships, such as these, like over, inside, beside, on top of, adjacent, opposite, next to. So if like, for example, you're talking about, look at the hotel complex, you can see that the hotel complex has a swimming pool behind it, or at the back of it. So behind or at the back is a spatial relationship that you have to use here to, to kind of specify where things are located. Like the open restaurant is right in the middle of the map, or the cafe, or the rocks in the scenic lookout, they're situated at the west or the northwest. So you have to mention where the thing you're talking about is located. And these are the things. You can pause the video, you can take a note of what these are. There's even more here, like between, midpoint, in the middle of, adjacent to, neighboring, next to, or beside. So there are many of these words you can use to kind of locate that particular thing that you're talking about. This is one. And two, you talk about passive voices. Well, you don't talk about passive voices, you talk in passive voices, which means that you have to talk about the changes that have happened, right? So some buildings have been reconstructed. Some buildings have been demolished completely, like, they've been torn down. Some buildings have been relocated. Some buildings have not changed at all. So there are changes or unchanges that have happened in the picture. So we have here to be located, situated, sited. You can use this to talk about where things are located. For example, you say that the hotel complex or the scientific research station that used to be located to the west of the island. Situated, sited, to be pulled down and replaced by. So this is the structure of that sentence. And if you want to implement that into a writing, you would say that, as an example, the hospital that used to be situated at the blah blah side of the map was pulled down and replaced by a cinema complex. So this is the structure, and you have to change it according to, the timing and everything. So it was pulled down, were pulled down, and replaced by something, transformed, converted, turned into. You use this when you want to talk about something that has been kind of changed into another purpose somehow. It's the same building, but purpose is different now. Like the same building that used to be used to be a cinema, now it's like a shopping complex, as an example. To be rebuilt, erected, reconstructed, or constructed. To be made way for or make way for. For example, I don't know if something has been demolished and has made for a way for another building. Be modified, be removed, cleared, demolished, be extended or redeveloped, be doubled, enlarged, added, and halved. So these are some of the passive voices that you can implement in your writing. Pay attention. We don't really care about the active voice. We don't care about who did it. Of course, construction workers and, the municipality, but we talk in a passive voice. The changes that have happened in the maps need to be written in a passive voice, because the focus of the writing is on the changes that have happened, not the people who made the changes. So we have these things. We have the spatial relationships, which you can just basically pause the video and take a note of. And now, what does it look like in a writing? Now, there is just a sample writing here. The provided figures illustrate the comparison of the Paradise Island in the past and present. In a glance, we can see that there have been some major developments across the island. Okay, so this is the introduction. Going into details, it is visible that the west side of the island experienced numerous changes, namely the extension of the pier to the very west side, which now forms a T-shape. Now, you can see the pier in the past, it looked like this. Now it's like this, like it's been extended, and now it looks like a T-shape, so we've described that, which is in the west side of the island. We need to mention the orientation, the location of whatever we're talking about. And more explanation, allowing for more boarding and onboarding of cruise ships. Cruise ships here, right? So cruise ships they dock here and they onboard and board people. So we've mentioned that. In addition, the scientific research station was demolished and a hotel complex was constructed in the place of it. So the scientific research station, which used to be situated here in the past, no longer exists. Now we have a much larger complex, which is a hotel complex. So it was demolished, which means it was torn down, and a hotel complex was constructed in the place of it. The same thing that we had, the passive voice has been used here. We can also see that a new swimming pool is located behind the hotel, right here, behind. Another paragraph. Moreover, the natural look of the island has been transformed into a more modern look with all the palm trees cut down. So we can see the palm trees no longer exist. So we had a lot of palm trees in the past in the island, no longer in the present. An open restaurant in the shape of a circle has been built in the middle of the island. So has been built, passive, in the middle of the island. This is the spatial here we have used with barbecue area to the very south of it. So to the very southeast of it. This is the barbecue area here to the south east of the open restaurant. The natural spring to the northeast still exists to this day. However, there now is situated a cafe and the rest. So this is like a incomplete writing. You can see that the natural spring hasn't changed. It still exists to this day. However, there's now a cafe situated here and the rest. So it's very easy to write. All you have to do is talk about where things are and what has happened to them. And all you have to do is just, take a look at these things and use them, these special relationships and the passive voices, and implement them in your writing. So this is the task achievement that you're looking for. So practice the paraphrasing, practice your general overview, and then go for the body paragraphs and decide which part of the map you want to talk about in your first body paragraph, which one you want to talk about in your second body paragraph. So now, I want you guys, whoever's watching video, you who's watching this video, I want you to attempt this writing down in the comments. So you can see that the prompt has been given here. The pictures below show how the town is planned to change in the future. So you can see that this is now and this is future, right? So yes, the tense is a little bit different. It's not past and present, it's present and the future. I'm sure you can make that happen. Also, implement all the things that I provided in this video to talk about the changes. Make sure you talk about a specific area of this map or this picture in one body paragraph and another part in another body paragraph. So this is it, right? So this is the entirety of the plan picture thingy. It's too easy, it is. But for now, this is it. Attempt this in the comments, and I will look at them myself and I will give you the feedback myself. And one more thing, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please make sure you do and like the video and comment. You don't want to write about this? Don't. It's okay. Just comment whatever you think about the video. If you liked it or if you disliked it, let us know what you think. So it's really important for us to know what you, people who watch this video, think of our videos. If there's anything wrong in the video or if something is off in the video or anything, just let us know. We'll appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Good luck.